What's going on, guys? Mike here, and today is another portfolio update. And I'm going to have a little bit of a mixture of kind of what happened last week with like specifically Amazon and Microsoft. We're going to, like I said, go over my portfolio, and obviously this is a new month, so we're going to be able to compare my portfolio to the S&P index as well as the TSX 60. And after that, we're going to talk a little bit more about the interest rates, what the expectations are in Canada, and just a few other reminders at the end of this video that I want to share to obviously help us all be better investors. So let's just get right to it. So one of the biggest things I want to talk about before we get into the portfolio update is Amazon. I feel like this is something that maybe people don't really understand as to what happened, but as you'll know, that last week Amazon had their earnings revealed, and as soon as the earnings revealed, like 2 minutes after the reveal, they skyrocketed in regards to their share price. Like they technically like increased by, it was like 153 billion dollars within a matter of minutes from their release. Now, a little bit later after that, they ended up having the press conference, and there was sadly a comment made, and this was not in the earnings report, which is kind of a little interesting, that they had an actual drop of 5% on their cloud services. And then within 10 minutes, they dropped significantly. You can see here they dropped 10.19% in a matter of 10 minutes. So again, I just want to highlight, in my other past videos, I stress the importance of not trying to time the market. Always just get your money invested, because time in the market beats timing the market most of the times, right? So I would have hated to buy in at 10% higher and then just instantly lose it within a matter of 10 minutes. So just something to be aware of, right? The other big player was obviously Microsoft. Microsoft, they obviously had their earnings released. You can easily see where that happened. And they did not drop. Their cloud services are reporting a positive numbers and yada, yada, yada. So again, whatever you think the markets are going to do, typically they always do the opposite, it seems. So Microsoft released, I think, their earnings first, and then of course everyone probably had a lot of hype of Amazon because with Microsoft's Azure services doing just fine, no one probably expected the 5% drop in AWS. So just something to be aware of, right? So the performance this week on the actual portfolio, so I'm just going to scroll up here. So this is still sorted on both of my RSP and my TFSA. We sadly went, we're not really much of a change. We're at $28,607, which is very similar to the week prior. And it was a very flat week. You can see here it came out as a 0.1% for last week. Nothing really interesting happened. No purchases, no sales, no dividends. So if you're interested, I think the combination was, I think it was 0.1 specifically on the RSP, and my TFSA being just flat at 0. So again, nothing exciting there. It is, like I said, though, a new month. So on the first of every month within my Excel sheet, I can run a script on my Excel program here, and it does kind of just do a comparison through the two benchmarks that I kind of typically follow. So you'll see here my portfolio in the last month did about 2.05% of an increase. The S&P 500 did 3.62, and the TSX did 3.53. So we technically underperformed, which is a little unfortunate. I do have a lot of cash just kind of sitting on the side though, so that that can contribute to that as well. I'm just still kind of waiting for these like really big dips to buy into, and maybe that's my own fault. My emotions kind of kicking in, and I'm sacrificing returns out of it. But I also don't ever really expect to necessarily beat the index. You kind of just always want to stay, obviously with it, right? You don't want to like be on the complete opposite, like I'm -2 and they're +3 kind of thing, which would be kind of a problem. But so 2.05 for the last month, and just under the indexes. So I'm still happy with that. So the next thing I want to talk about is the Bank of Canada interest rate. There has been talks about, or predictions and analysts and whatnot, and they're technically predicting that by the end of 2024, we should be around an interest rate of 3%. So the reason why I wanted to highlight that is obviously I think that's a little bit longer than what people were kind of hoping for. But what it's telling me though is that we're probably going to be in this higher interest environment for longer than anticipated. So I just wanted to stress again, because we may have some new viewers here potentially, and that's the PSA, or Purpose High Interest Savings ETF, and there are other ones. I'm personally just invested in PSA, but there's like Cash.to or whichever, and these are just really good drivers right now, because with a Bank of Canada interest rate being north of 4%. These particular ETFs that you can purchase within like Questrade or Wealthsimple, or whichever the case may be, you can just put your money in here and it will accumulate interest like it was in a high interest savings account, but it's through a stockbroker instead. So you can see here, just the quick recap for the new viewers is that it resets to $50 every month. So it'll accumulate its interest, all the way through the month. And then as soon as it hits its X date, it drops right back down to 50, because it pays out the whatever's above $50 in a dividend. So you can see here in the dividend payout, I haven't received it yet, but it has been obviously readjusted on the stock price, and they will be paying out 18.58 cents for this previous month here. So I'm a really big, I really like these because I always kind of keep a little bit of cash on the side. Also too, it just kind of levels out the volatility in your portfolio. If you can just pretty much get guaranteed 4.5% interest on a position within just cash, like I said, it just kind of levels out the positions you have in your portfolio. So I just think it's really quite awesome, and I really quite like it. So yeah, so that, again, I just wanted to stress it. I do have a video on it that explains a little bit more in detail, but it is what it is. So check it out if you guys are interested in that. So the next thing I'm going to quickly just talk about is the next kind of earnings that are kind of coming out here. So I'm going to drag my Google Finance over here. One of the companies I talk about a lot actually is EQ Bank, because that's where I like to keep my emergency fund, and I collect my interest that gets paid out on the first every month, which I technically just received this month, which was I think $20. So that'll be transferred into my Wealthsimple portfolio and reinvested. So their earnings report is coming up tomorrow, which is EQ Bank. Again, if I haven't listed already, there's the video if you want to get more details on that. And we have some other REITs kind of coming up. So Dream Industrial REIT, I'll check into it. If there's anything worth mentioning, I'll definitely put it on the channel. Also too, one of the ones that I am personally invested in, which is Plaza REIT, and I'm not sure if there's any other investors here within Plaza REIT, but I will be doing a video specific on their earnings report. As well as Apple that's coming out. And again, Apple's kind of another one of those kind of like those index companies, right? So like Amazon and Microsoft, they all kind of like play a role on how the entire market reacts. So Apple's another one of those. So that's happening this week. So we'll see what happens. So again, expect some other volatility kind of coming, right? Also Enbridge, I'm personally invested in it. Also Enbridge, I haven't planned to do a specific video on Enbridge on the earnings, but definitely leave a comment below if you guys want me to. The ones that I actually get a lot of interest on are the REITs, so that's why I want to do a specific one on Plaza REIT when their earnings come out here. Another one I actually want to ask the question as well is whether or not you guys want me to do like another specific video on smart centers, maybe specifically like on their developments or anything like that. I know there's a lot of people that have been attracted to that video, and that's this one right here. So let me know in the comments below if you want anything more on that specific one. I also am invested in RioCan, and I sadly have not done a video on RioCan yet. So that's on my agenda, and it is coming. So if you guys are interested in any of that, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button, and definitely so you can get the future content. And it'd be highly appreciated if you guys like this video. Definitely smash that button, because it does help me and support the channel. So without anything else, I hope you guys found this informative, and we'll see you guys next time.